Alright everyone, welcome back to another Drive and Talk here in Automotive Anatomy. Man, today's topic is going to be a good one. And again, I'm hoping that I come across as somebody who's very open-minded. Very biased, obviously. We all have biases, but I'm going to try to come as very open-minded. This is my point of view that I want to share. First of all, I'm not leaving California. So that right away, clickbait, I do apologize. But the reason why I wanted to make these conversations because huge influence, people of influence have spoken a lot about California, how it sucks and how it's a rundown state and it's going to go to bankruptcy and et cetera, and then they just highlight all the negative things about it. Now, let me tackle down the way I feel about certain things. Let me start with Ben Shapiro. For those who may not know, Ben Shapiro is a political analyst, more on the conservative side, a very common sense, very smart guy, right? But one of the things that bothered me with him is I've seen a few of his interviews when he interviews certain people that I like to listen and learn from. But his last videos have been about why I'm leaving California, and obviously he moved his company to Tennessee about, 2 months now or whatever the case may be. And let me tackle two things with him. One, when he left and he announced that he was leaving, one of the things that he said, and he said it multiple times, he said it in the Joe Rogan podcast, he said, I'm leaving because my kids can no longer walk outside without stepping on needles because of all the homelessness and drugs. That's just incorrect. Ben Shapiro makes millions of dollars. The homie doesn't live in the hood, first of all. Second of all, he doesn't live in downtown. And if he does, he's an idiot. He should have moved, right? The reason is this. What bothers me is that people are bashing on LA, bashing on California. The same individuals that thanks to LA people, LA community, LA marketing, thanks to this LA that they talk so much crap on, they were able to grow so much. That bothers me. It's almost like saying, when we put into context with cars, Hondas are whack. Now that you make a little bit more money, now you're driving a Mustang or a Porsche or whatever, but you grew up in Hondas. But now all of a sudden, now you're too cool to drive a Honda. You have the right to do that. I'm not saying that's not the right thing to do or say, but when you keep bashing on Hondas, it's like, all right, homeboy, you don't want to drive one? No problem. But stop bashing on them. Because some of us actually appreciate it. So that's number one. For him to say that his kids cannot walk. Dude, I don't know where you live, but you make millions of dollars. Please tell me you don't live in this gated, super, or lived in these big, huge houses, very, safe communities. Number two, he leaves and he's still making videos about why California sucks. You left. I'm cool with you leaving. You have the right. We're in the beautiful country of United States of America. You can leave, take your business somewhere, pay way, way, way less taxes. I know Tennessee has the lowest taxes in the whole United States of America. You can go buy 4 or 5 times what you had here with the same amount of money for your business and for your home. I'm cool with that. Thank you. But why because you know that when you put California, when you put Los Angeles, it creates eyes. And I think it's embarrassing that you as a marketing individual, you created your money, you made your business, and now you're dipping somewhere else and you're still talking smack about the place where you blew up. And on top of that, you know that it's still getting you views via Facebook, YouTube, and all these other social medias because you're still bashing on California. To all my subscribers from outside of California, look, I know we all have different biases. You might be Republican, you might be more conservative, you might be whatever it is, whatever you are. Just understand that what you're listening about these certain individuals, it doesn't represent the true reality all the time. Joe Rogan, for instance. I like Joe Rogan. His new podcast in Texas, or I don't know specifically what city he moved to. The guy looks, like he hasn't been sleeping. It's been different. And it's not because of the studio. I just feel like the people that he's had on, the conversation has been different. And two, he's still bashing on California. Oh, the governor, all this, all that. Like, dude, you moved away. It's no longer a problem. Now, if you moved because you got, you were trying to get away from $40 million taxes that you didn't want to pay, or whatever the case may be, you have the right to move. Maybe he's really bothered that he actually had to pick up his bags and go to a different place. Now, both this huge, Elon Musk is going to be moving. I think Disneyland and even Knott's might be moving out of Cali. I'm not a business person, so I can't understand where they're coming from when it comes to a business mentality. Yes, I pay a lot of taxes. I get it, because it's a high-paying taxes state. And do I love it? Of course not. So I don't want to. I don't want you guys to think like, oh, this guy fucking loves paying high taxes. I don't. But what I do want you to understand is that I also look at the beautiful things in California. I'm not just bashing it. If there's ever a day that I decide to move out of California, I need to move on from California. That's the reason why I'm moving on. I get it. You're bothered that you had to move, but when you constantly still continue to make videos about California, come on, man. Like, you guys already moved out. It's almost like you kind of want other people to say the same thing. Yes, Joe. Yes, Ben. We're gonna move out of here. And guess what? A lot of people have. And mad respect to them. There's people that like Rob in Canada. You have the right to live there. No one's saying you need to move out of there. No, like if that's where you find home, I'm sure if I go over there, I'm gonna find things that I may not like about it. But like, I don't want to live here. It's too cold. It's too hot. Or, whatever. It doesn't have the interest. My hobbies, car culture. But I don't make nothing. I don't even make 2% of what Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan kept telling about the homelessness and things like that, dude. You guys. So to the people outside of LA and California, you guys understand that LA is huge. And yes, there's homelessness in downtown LA. There's homelessness in so many different hoods. There's so many different places where there's homelessness. And there's Pasadena. Then there's all these different beautiful places that there's no homelessness there, because obviously the police will not let them. So to you guys out there, don't think that LA is like this tiny little place and it's all filled with violence and homelessness. No, there's a lot of beautiful places with, amazing culture. You feel safe. It's just wrong that these huge celebrities are pointing out the flaws of the same place where thanks to this place, they blew up. Joe Rogan, obviously he's been doing a lot with TV and things like that. Ben Shapiro, he had been doing a lot of things before with his social media marketing. But either way, both of them, there's no way they would have blown up if they were like, let's say, in Idaho. Because then you don't have that marketing. And obviously they do a lot of Facebook ads and things like that. And so LA really helped them to expand. It's the same thing as a tech company in San Francisco. It almost kind of just flows together. And yes, there's a lot of things wrong with the state of California. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to think like, oh no, I'm in La La Land and everything's perfect here. No, by any means, no. But what bothered me was, it's almost like, man, like no one's standing up for California in a way. And yes, there's riots and there's all these different things that I completely disagree with. And I've had conversations with my buddies that I'm like, oh, great, the Dodgers won. Now you're going to go ruin your city. And for those who may not know, I'm in Orange County, which is next to LA County. So may say, well, Orange County is beautiful. No, we have rough areas. And I'm not saying that I live in a horrible area, but I definitely don't live in the beach, oceanside places what that the movies and TV portrays. But I'll tell you guys this much. I live in a very nice area where there are homelessness here and there. I'm not stepping on needles. Why is this guy saying, there's no place that you can go without stepping on needles? Why is Joe Rogan still upset about what's going on in California when he moved out? Oh, the Comedy Central Club that, he can't go to, blah, 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 etc., etc. You made your choice. There's a lot of celebrities that live here for a reason. And they pay the taxes. By the way, they go in loopholes and things like that. And everyday Joe like you and myself, we pay more taxes than them. It's just companies and just people of power. That's just how it is. Now, by the way, for those people who actually have taken Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro suggestions serious, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Don't take it back. Don't be mad if you're one of those people who's just happy to say, yeah, I'm gonna move out because Joe Rogan said, or that's the trend. These dudes have money. Like, I don't know if you guys understand, but what would consider your home base is where you spend 51% of the time. So yeah, Joe's gonna do some podcasts over there, and I wouldn't doubt it if he's gonna be flying out here every 2-3 days. He has the money to do that. Ben Shapiro has the money to do that. In the name of business reasons, I'm gonna move to Cali. I'm gonna be in Cali for a week. I'm gonna, like, they have the money, they have the funding. Some of these people, they have multiple places to live. You and I don't. So before you make that quick decision of, oh, I'm gonna move to a certain place because of this, I just understand that they're in a whole different ball game. Pat Davis from the Valley Entertainment. I really like most of his stuff. He does interviews and podcasts, and he has his business in LA. He used to live in LA, moved to Texas again because of the taxes and just different laws and more of a conservative view. And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you're on the conservative side, or you're wrong if you're in the democratic liberal side, progressive side, whatever. No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I just feel like it was important for a few of you guys to understand that California has a lot to offer, and it's the same people that have benefited from it, and they saw the benefit. Now they have the money to move their companies somewhere else, and it's just address that they're moving. These people are still going to be out here in California. Joe Rogan's still going to be out here for business purposes, but meanwhile he's still sending these messages of everybody how bad it is, etc., etc. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know it's off the conversation. We've had a conversation about different things. I was just very bothered. There were so many videos about why I'm leaving California. Elon Musk is leaving California. So and so is leaving California. Look, I don't have an issue with it. I know that there are a lot of things that are wrong with California. There is a lot of poor decisions. There's a lot of things I disagree. But man, there's a lot of beautiful things about Cali. I'm a huge believer that either way, politics are not going to fix your life. You have to go in and make the proper changes. Donald Trump's been on as a president for the past 3.5 years. Ask me how that has impacted my life. In the grand scheme of things, not really. I still have to get up and go to work. If Biden wins or if Trump wins again, I still have to get up to go to work. Don't blame anybody else. Handle your business. Manage your money. You get what you put in. It doesn't matter if you're in Tennessee, Texas, or California. There are beautiful things about certain states, but it just doesn't apply to me. I wouldn't want to live in Boston, even though Boston is a huge city and there's so much going on. There's a huge culture there, sport-wise. I just don't want to be in Boston because it's freaking cold. And there's people that are willing to live there. That's cool. That's perfectly fine. I just don't want anybody from Boston coming to LA and still bashing on Boston, because I'm like, you left Boston. You're good, right? That's it. That's it. It's like you're still stuck on the ex-girlfriend type of thing. And I don't want that for people to... Obviously, this is a massive group of people that have huge followings. I just think, aside from the car culture, no disrespect to anybody, Cali has the best car culture. I mean, I'm biased, right? There's a lot of beautiful things about Cali. For the most part, I want to say people are very kind, and I just feel like I needed to say that. Once you appreciate what you have, you start understanding that there's so much stuff that Cali has to offer, and if it's not the place for you, hey, no problem. I'm a huge believer of make them right moves. Go ahead, move somewhere else. Seek the better life that you're looking for. And that's it. Be happy, but don't get stuck on the past. And so the Joe Rogan's, interviews and podcasts, it's been difficult. It's been difficult to listen to the last ones, and it's just sad that he's still stuck on the way the governor is handling the pandemic. I'm not saying that I agree with the way things have been going, but as a national concern, I don't think it was handled properly to begin with. But that's not here or there. The point is, if you're in Alabama, if you're in Florida, if you're in Washington, if you're in Montana, wherever the hell you're at, and if you enjoy it, you won. That's all. That's cool. I'm never going to be bashing about the laws and the rules in Florida. You know why? Because I don't care. I'm not living there. It doesn't apply to me. And if one day I decide to move to Texas, which, by the way, I don't see that ever happening. And again, not because Texas is a bad place. I've been to Texas once, and it was just different. I didn't know. And where I live, where I currently live, I'm 20 minutes away from the beach. I'm 20 minutes away from like a desert area, like 40 minutes away from the desert area, about an hour away from mountains. And do I go to the beach every day? Of course not. Do I go to... No. But I have the ability to. And that's what I enjoy. I have the ability to say, you know what? I'm going to eat Mexican food, but I'm first going to start Chinese food, and then I'm going to go... there's just so much things that you can do. And I'll be the first one to admit, I don't like living in LA because it's crowded and it's But you don't hear me bashing about it every single time. There's times that LA offers certain things, and I'm like, damn, I got to go to LA. Cool, I'll go to LA. And a lot of the people that I've interviewed, they live in LA, and they're like, dude, I love this place. I just interviewed the guy with the red DA, Raul, and we were in Boyle Heights, Whitterside, and then from there, we went out to eat some Mexican food, and I'm like, damn, this food was bomb. And obviously, my mom makes Mexican food. She makes, authentic. But even that restaurant was cool. But that's something that you're not gonna find everywhere. And if that's not top of your priorities, then you don't care. But to me, that's part of it. The culture, how I feel around people, the weather. That to me seems to be the most important part. But anyways, I don't know. Keep it respectful. I really want to listen to some of the comments. I don't, like I said, it's just about being open-minded. I know I have a few followers from Virginia, from Florida, obviously Canada, and tell me why you guys like, let's keep it positive instead of, they're handling this. No. Like, tell me why you enjoy where you live. There's people that legit love cold places. Michigan. I love when, or Wisconsin. I love it when it snows. Why? What is it that you get to do when it snows? Or you just been a person that maybe you migrated from a place that was very, very cold, so Chicago is not windy nor cold for you. It's like, nah, this is, kids play. Or maybe you're in Phoenix and you're like, dude, every time I go to California, they're crying about it. Like, I don't, or, I moved from a place that was very, very, very hot, and now Phoenix is a kid's weather. I don't know, whatever the case may be. As always, we go for the car, we stay for the person. Thank you guys so much for the support, and can't wait to have positive, respectful communication via comments. Catch you guys in the next one.